Hey, good morning. Thank you for joining us. This is today's live on Aqua Television International. And today we are going to be looking at cleanliness. How clean are you? How clean is your environment? How clean is your mind? These are issues that we'll be looking at today. And then the full squad are here. I have Prudence Burger here with me.
Morning.
I have Joyce Jakada.
Proudly here.
Engineer Tony Jenakali is my name, man.
Yeah, we miss you. Yesterday you were not here, and
What happened on the show, man? What happened? Did Joyce do well?
yeah, she did. But
she
yesterday
was still Joyce. She was still Joyce on the show.
She showed that really she was missing you badly yesterday.
Okay, badly.
Yeah. But we are happy that you are
She's
here
trying
today.
to prove you wrong using a look.
Okay, viewer, we are live.
So you were actually happy I was not here yesterday.
I wasn't. I even spoke on
Someone
your
even
behalf.
told me that you said praise the Lord when I said I was not coming.
No,
It was fine.
she wasn't. She wasn't happy. She even
I was
showed.
speaking on your behalf.
Okay.
and the-
Welcome. Good to have you.
I'm always honored to be here.
Yeah, viewer, we're live on YouTube and Facebook, so do well to join us as we do the show together. Cleanliness. Some people say cleanliness next to godliness, and then the question is that what Bible verse passage?
Since you are the most dressed on the show, so you should start.
I feel attacked already. But then, growing up, we almost sing the song on cleanliness. We almost every day sing the song on grooming is the way you take care of yourself.
Sing it.
And all of that. No, it's just a definition, but because of how you are expected to practice it, you almost sing it every day to remind yourself that you should be clean at all time. And today, there are a lot of unclean things happening around us, activities and events, how people do things, take care of themselves, ignore the environment, or take care of the environment and ignore their personal hygiene and all of that. It's more like a conversation that we have just thrown to primary and secondary school. But if from the home we are not deliberate about cleanliness, then the effort that we made in the school or like it won't amount to anything, because the child grows in the home, he sees how things are done, and sooner or later he imbibes that attitude. And also when you talk about cleanliness, it's just a state of being free from dirt, germs, trash, and then all of that. Today it's so common to see people litter their environment or even not take care of their personal hygiene. Like, imagine waking up in the morning and then not brushing your teeth, just going out to work, and then of course you're going to meet with other people there, and you are the one that will always come to people's face to speak.
Oh, that's wrong to you. You must brush your teeth every day. Huh? I'm just asking.
Once you sleep and wake up, it's expected that you brush your...
What if I lick Tom instead?
It's a bad breath will still come up. So
Okay.
actually, there are people that do.
Sometimes
they chew gum.
3 weeks, 1 month.
People chew gum. They take sweets. Just
There
to
are
hide the
people
bad
that
breath.
are always having something in their mouth. Why is it so?
Some people naturally have bad breath, so instead of just brushing.
Is that jacket new?
No,
Okay.
it's not.
It's never been on Today's Life.
It has.
Okay.
You were just not on set.
Okay. In other words, I don't come to work regularly.
No, you
I'm
were
not regular at work. It's okay.
Okay, so some people have bad breath, and sometimes just brushing once
Everybody
a
has
day.
bad breath.
Some more
Believe
than
me,
others.
you should ask good. I like that. When you don't take care of anything, you don't take care of well, it has a negative impact at the end, right? Like I told someone once, I said, anything God says kill, and you live alive, it will kill you. If God says kill this thing and you leave it alive, it will kill you. The next thing after health is godness, is cleanliness. I beg your pardon, because it's important to be clean. If dirt can intentionally come to you, then you should make a concerted effort to deal with them. Like, you go to your house, just open your windows and look through the corners of it. You are going to be amazed what you live with in the same house. You understand? Just one day, go right under your bed, and you'll be shocked what you can find. If you have a washing machine, just lift it up just one day. Just try someday, lift it up, see what's underneath. If you have a refrigerator, try to do the same thing. If you have things that creeping things can walk under and settle there, just try to see. Because when you live in a house, there are other animals too who make your house a habitation, a dwelling place for them. So they crawl in with every kind of building material. They crawl in, yes, with every kind of building material to build their own home. Yesterday, funny enough, in my house, I just realized that round the roof, there are every kind of birds. Yes, I just realized yesterday. So sometimes when you walk through, anytime I have the privilege of walking through that anywhere at the back, you see a bird flying out. This one flying out. You see a lot of them. So I'm like, wow, so we now live together. I'm not aware. When did you move in? They don't announce they are coming. That is the more dirt does not announce it's coming. But it is a blessed thing to have animals living with you. But you see, dirt will not announce it's coming. So you find them, you look for them, and you be intentional about your cleanliness. And I think one thing you said in the opening that really got my attention was the cleanliness of the heart. And I think we should dedicate the second part of the hour to talk about that. But if we are talking about personal hygiene, which we have discussed one time on the show, but you see, some people grow nails. I do, but it's not intentional. Sometimes they get too long. I'm like, when did you get here? Okay, let me get some clippers and clip them. I'm not intentional about that, but you never see them dirty. You see, so you have to look for where there are corners in your body, and these corners hardly have time to breathe. Check on them regularly. Check on them, know how they are doing. Like sometimes, when like weather becomes so hot, try and do this. Just try. Yeah, I like that. Just try. Sometimes put your hands in some places on your body and check. Man, if it's this bad for me, what about others? It's discomforting that you sit in a taxi with someone or an airplane or any means of transportation and you can't breathe well for the while that the journey will last. So you have to be intentional. There is no way you can accidentally see dirt. No, be intentional. Why do people sweep every morning? In fact, there are some families, you visit them at 4, 5 a.m., someone is sweeping already. I saw something, someone said that my neighbor is sweeping at 5 a.m. every day. Somebody said, you don't know what heartbreak can do. But you see, don't wait till you're heartbroken before you start taking care of yourself. I've told you a story solo off camera one time that I visited a lady way long with a friend of mine. And we asked she was trying to entertain us. What do you care for? Blah, blah, blah. And I said, me, honestly, you don't want to know, but I want to drink Gary. She said, Gary? I said, yes. With milk? I said, no. Just Gary, sugar. If you have that strong thing, granite cake, put it inside and granite. So she got it. He said he wants Coke and bread. So she got it. So we sat, ate, had fun, gisted, and we left. She came to just newly as a copper, and she was trying to, familiarize and know people. So we happened to be in the same church. So that was our first time in the north. So about a week later, not a week later, about 2 days later, her sisters came to join her. 2 of her sisters came and joined her. So that time, everything she bought was new. At least she just moved in. So 2 of her sisters joined her. And she said, why won't you come over and meet my sisters? Blah, blah. So we said, okay. Success, are you okay? He said, yes. I said, let's go. When we went there, the cup that I drank, Gary, she soaked her underwears in it. I was like, I said, there was nothing to have said, right? I was just wondering. I said, God, just help me that it was after I took the gari that they converted this cup to a bucket. So I kept thinking, imagine this was like 20-something years ago. But I keep thinking of it. Like, this cup, they call it who sent you. Come out of that shock. It wasn't you that drank the gari. Come out of that shock, Prudence. This cup, this steel cup, that big one. And that, it contained some quantity, man. So I enjoyed myself. And the rest, I finished. And when we came the next day, Jesus, it was underwears soaked in that cup. So I started wondering. I said, why would some people be that dirty? And it was right in front of the door. It was just one room. The house was just one room. It was right in front of the door. Do you not know that there are people that wear one boxers or one underwear for 2 weeks? White singlet will turn to brown, turn to purple, turn to yellow. Every weather has looked upon that singlet, but you are still wearing it. Sometimes your singlet, your shirt, your outer shirt is clean, but people are still uncomfortable. Something is coming out from the inside. How do you feel? If you have 2, you wash one today, you wear the other one, you keep washing. And sometimes it's okay if this is coming from a man. But a woman, no. See, I will always say a woman should put herself in the position to be found. The Bible says he that finds a wife. So the woman that wants to be found must put herself in the position to be found. Don't be frivolous with your life, but put yourself in the position to be found. Right? But think about it, sir. If a woman lives very dirty, except a man that is extremely dirty, dirtier than her, except he's the dirtiest man in the history of people existing, yes, that you want to settle with a woman like that. So what happens to your children when you have them in the future? That means it will be okay to wear the same uniform to school without washing it for a whole week. So when we're talking about cleanliness, I think it's not something we can deal with within an hour.
It's true.
You spoke about children wearing, like we see, I had that experience, I think for some years I taught in a school, and it's quite unfortunate that a child of 3 years that cannot help himself or herself wash uniform, socks and all of that, you see the person repeatedly wearing on dirty socks or uniform, and then the parent proudly walk them to the school and all of that. Cleanliness begins with yourself. And it's like you said, it's terrible when a woman or a lady is unclean, because that attitude is going to be transferred.
True, and that's not to say that it's okay for men to be dirty.
Yes. It's going to be transferred even to the children. We're conversing, ladies' conversation, and then I said, do you know that there are relationships that end, or marriages that end because of the issue of cleanliness? Maybe one of the partner is dirty and the other one is not comfortable with it. We were talking yesterday about your values aligning, complementing each other and all of that. And then one of the ladies just said, she doesn't care what you think, because she can eat food and then leave the plate for 1 week there. She can like just throw up her shoes, her clothes. You don't force her. Yes, you don't force her to. You don't force her to do at your own time. She will pick it eventually, but at her own time. So there are people that have this attitude and they boast about it, even as young people. Like, I'm going to pick it now. Somebody will say, this thing is not, it doesn't look good. It irritates, of course. Nothing dirty appeals. It irritates. It only appeals to somebody that is dirty.
Dirty, yeah.
So, can you pick this from here? And the person will tell you, I know, I will pick it. That's a very dirty act.
That the person does not pick it as at when due. Let me use our English here. That the person does not pick it as at when due means that there is something wrong. Let me throw this to all of us. What's the difference between somebody that is dirty and somebody that is unkept?
There's a thin line.
A very thin line.
Okay, so let's hear that thin line. Can a razor cut it?
Okay. So if for instance you wash everything, but you're not smart enough to keep them organized, you're unkept, but it could also tilt to uncleanliness because.
But they are washed.
Yes, but they're not arranged so they can easily pick up dirt.
What if the room is clean?
They can still easily pick up dirt.
Stop talking about me on the show. Stop talking about me on the show. I say, what if the room is clean? What if the room is clean? I'm asking you a question. What if the room is clean?
Regardless if the room is clean or not. You see, earlier on you mentioned that you have crawling insects. You have.
What if they don't live? What if you spray something that kills them?
There's still dust. You can't go.
What if you kill the dust?
Okay. It's not possible. So
I feel
don't talk about me on this show.
okay, no.
You feel what?
I don't know you that much. That
Okay.
I talk about
Okay, so
you.
feel free. Go
Yes, yeah. Unless if
feel
you
free.
give
You
us
have
light.
enough of the ad libs. Feel free.
You know, when someone is being tagged unkept, it's just that the person is not good in arranging things, like making.
He doesn't add an things.
Yeah. but
Man, I love today's life.
but when you talk about the other
What's
one,
Adana in English?
Adana,
Organize.
Okay.
You know how African parents will say, Adana.
she's not
Right.
organized.
She is not
They don't
organized.
say it in Buju, they say it in Hausa.
Okay.
Go ahead, Solo.
So the other part
Take care of the Most High God.
is that when someone is dirty, dirty in the sense that you don't take your bath, you don't sweep your room, you don't wash your clothes, you are just there and you don't care. You don't care. And you see, the danger is that if you are unclean,
Yes.
if you are dirty, and then you are not organized at the same time, it makes it worse.
Only a crazy woman can settle it.
Because
like that.
number one, everywhere is dirty. The plates are dirty, the clothes are dirty, the room itself is dirty, and then it's not kept. There's no how a dirty person can be organized.
You
Because-
see, when George Jakada said is a thin line between being unkept and being dirty, it's true. You cannot wash a plate and drop it on top of the refrigerator. It's clean. Doesn't mean you should bring it to the living room and keep it. You know, but it's clean. You know, it doesn't mean you should keep it in the place. If some people have a dish rack where you can just, you know, arrange everything and have everything kept. You can't just because you are clean, then things should be kept the way you want things to be kept. You understand? But let's bring it. Let me bring it to like questions. How often should someone wash the bed sheet that he lays on?
Well, it depends on the usage because you can just spread your bed
It
sheet.
depends on the usage. It's
Yeah.
bed sheet you lay every day on it.
No, what I mean by that is you can lay your bed sheet today, and then something can pour on it.
Okay.
So you shouldn't leave it till.
Something like
Okay, maybe you're eating. You
food.
sat on the
no,
bed.
it's bed. It's bed.
Yes, there are people that
I
take
didn't
their
say
meal.
chair sheet.
There are people that take their meal to the bed.
Is that correct?
It's wrong.
Okay.
So there are people that do that, and then there are children that can just jump on the bed with stuffs on their hand like juice and all of that, and maybe you
And it
don't have
spills.
control over that. So when it spills, you don't wait. If we say, okay, as often, let's say a week, by every weekend you should wash your or change your bed sheet. It can be dirty before the 1 week. You don't wait until that time. Just change it. And then there are people that you say 1 week, they will tell you it's not dirty now. Like there's nothing on it, so why should I change? I remember one time we traveled, and then from Jos to Bauchi, when we got to Bauchi, we were asked, there's water, you can just shower and all of that. And then I went in, I came out dressed, and then the other guys too, then they now said, why should they take their bath? How many hours they spend after taking their bath here in Jos? They just 1 hour, like they're asking them to take that. The other person now checked and said, him is not dirty. Like, so there are people that will tell you the bed sheet, I used it for 1 month, it's still clean. I just go to work, come back in the night, lay on it, wake up. It's not. So as soon as it's dirty, like even if it's not dirty, at least change it in a week, even if it's not dirty.
How often should someone wear his underwears without washing them?
A day.
A
Just
day.
a day.
With this economy, is this hardship?
Okay, then at most, with the economy hardship, we're being considerate. So maybe at most
a
2
month.
days.
Okay.
I don't even think you should wear it for a whole 24 hours. You should change.
How much is soap? Do you know how much soap is? African parents are watching you. You will not cross this.
So you wear underwear from morning, night,
And still wear-
At
And
least
still
3
wear the
weeks.
next day.
Just it's not hot.
I
It's
think
cold.
you should change your.
So
no,
how
please.
often should someone wash the clothes that they wear?
Some would say it depends on where you're coming from. If you are in Abuja, Lagos, you know how that
These
weather
hot
can
cities,
be hot city, and then you can, and it will shock you that it's people in that kind of weather wear clothes like for 1 week without. No, I'm just giving an example, but it doesn't mean that
You
even if
that
you
part very well.
I'm telling you.
like Gombe, Yola, you understand? With the harsh weather around there, Maiduguri and the rest. At least if you wear your shirt once, because definitely you will sweat. So even if for the fact that the shirt is not dirty, but during the day, activities, maybe you sweat, just dish it inside water and just scrub it, and then I feel I think the whole thing is mindset, sir. The whole thing is
training
and training.
because basically, like Joyce said, well, I don't use it, but the most intimate part of the house is the bed. The part where you related the most with men is the bed, and the restroom. But the restroom is not even as often as the bed, because you lay on that bed at least 5 hours every day, at least. So a lot of things will settle.
Sure.
You understand? Sometimes when you use a bed sheet for a week, it stops smelling like the bed sheet that it is. It starts smelling like you. And what is the you? The sweat from terminals. You go all the heat, that dealt with you, the people you came in contact with and all that. You deposit it on that bed.
Sure.
And then and God help you if you have a partner that is cool with that. Kai. It's terrible. Like this bed sheet, like my grandfather would say, God rest his soul. He said he doesn't like my mother visiting. She will force him that he took a shower on Christmas Day. Today is New Year. She's asking him to take another shower. He was very old. very old. And anytime people want to wash, he will go and sit on his blanket. That when they wash it, it creates holes and the cold can penetrate. So they should leave it like that, So sometimes growing up, my mother would say, my father would say, talking about his father, So you don't like taking your bath like your grandfather. And my father would be like, woman, be careful. That's my father you're talking about, And when they get that old, they start behaving like children. Yeah. But you also have to take care of their health is also as important. Whether they cry, whatever they do, you should try as much as you can to see that these people get the required cleanliness that they need, But certain people are not just bothered about, even what we're saying right now, it's not. Why do people have cleaners in organizations? Because any place you have up to 5 people, tendencies, would occur. There are chances that someone will spill drink, chances someone will eat something and drop it there and all of that. There are organizations I go to and I see their cleaners don't only clean before people come to work. As a cleaner in an organization, you don't just clean for people to come to a comfortable office. If you come to work at 7 and you close at 6, you are cleaning all through. You are checking. You need to take out the trash hourly. Because people are dropping, you can just like munch a paper, like trash it in the waste bin, and it doesn't smell. There's nothing wrong with it. You can trash it the next day. But someone can take a mango or an apple and drop the remaining, or take sugar cane. I mean, that's your office, your break time, you can use it, and drop the chaff or anything. You need to take that out immediately, because an hour later can be disastrous. Everybody comes into the office, or you eat and then you throw the bones, in the waste bin. Before you know it, your office keeps smelling that food that you took, So people must be intentional about health. Okay. Go ahead.
One thing about cleanliness is it attracts people. Nobody, like I said earlier, wants to settle where it's dirty. Like, personally, I get so uncomfortable if things are not where they should be, or if places are not like clean. I sometimes get uncomfortable. And there are people that get angry with people that are clean. Like, they don't like to be around people that are clean. Oh, she too do, he too do, he's too clean, I can't stay, because their attitude that they have. What exactly? Like, he's clean to the extreme. Yeah, there are people that are clean to the extreme. Yeah, it can be stressful on others. My late grandfather.
And sometimes it can be annoying.
My late grandfather.
Every minute, please.
Yeah. my late grandfather, as soon as you visit, as soon as you go, he carries the broom to sweep the sand of the compound where you step. He will just ensure that he's always cleaning, and he always wants to see water everywhere. When he enters to take his bath, he's there for 2 hours, and everybody keeps wondering, what are you taking your bath for? He's actually like a gardener in a very close hospital. So at the end, he wants everywhere clean, and because of that, he doesn't like to see a lot of children around. The flowers, and children get attracted to the flowers and all of that. So he's always having issues. Either he's shouting, he's coming out, he's scolding, and all of that. So for some people, it's to the extreme, and people don't get comfortable. Imagine children having to just sit very organized and not play when they are seeing beautiful flowers and all of that. So there are people that are actually, yes, you're clean, but you don't give room for people to just be comfortable. The moment someone is sitting down, is eating, you're watching how he's going to drop the cup, how he's going to, they don't give room for any mistake. Or that this food just mistakenly spilled, or water, or the juice, and they get so pissed off. So there are people that save themselves the stress by not going close to such people. But there's nothing bad about being clean. From the home, your body. Sometimes you say nobody's seeing the inside now, it's just the outer. But just like you said, there are times that your outer, like the clothes, is not dirty, but there's this smell that comes out from the inside. And then the result of being dirty, especially when it has to do with personal hygiene, is that sooner or later you might develop either body odor or mouth odor that you have to spend money upon money to treat. I know a lady that she has done a lot of things to deal with that, but it's still there.
Body odor.
Yes. So you don't say, I will use Arabian perfumes, I'll use oil, all those things. There are people that almost bath with all of that. Why? If you are clean, you don't need to bath with perfume.
You know, the odor is not a skin stuff. So you cannot apply something on the skin and have it dealt with. It's within your bone. It's inside your bone marrow. It comes out from there. And if you let it in, coming out is difficult, right? If you let it in, coming out is difficult. If you like, you can shower with all the perfume in the world. Man, the mixture of piss and oil is a bad mixture. So you don't even think that when you do that, we will end up with smelling something much more worse, you know. All right. I want us to do this. We will take thoughts for the week. But then when we come back, I would like us to look at the cleanliness of the heart, which is something that should take us all the way down 12 o'clock. And we don't want anybody telling us it's time, because we have a clock that is as big as a blind man can see. So we want to take our time to talk about cleanliness of the heart, because that cleanliness of the heart, I can't wait. Victor, if you are ready, let's take the thoughts for the week.
An arrogant, conceited, or egotistical attitude could lead to one's downfall and ultimate demise. But a humble spirit will earn people's respect and admiration.
Be the reason why someone smiles. Be the reason why someone feels loved.
There's nobody on earth without a destiny. Most of the time, the limitation is lack of awareness. Be informed.
Yeah, that's what we think for the week, and we hope you found it useful. We're talking about the cleanliness of the heart. What does it mean, Prudence, for your heart to be clean?
No nasty words. No nasty thoughts. Basically, I'm just trying to pick out the characters.
They understand you that way.
So you're thinking no nasty words, no nasty talks, no nasty thoughts, no nasty imagination. In fact, you just have a clean slate. It's like you're pure, you're innocent. I think the cleanliness of the heart is tilting towards innocence more, innocent and holy, pure. That's the cleanliness of the heart. But
holy, HOLYO, WHOLLY.
Come to think of it, both of them.
Okay.
Both of them.
Okay.
Yeah, because holy would make you, like, that's the HOLY, would make you clean, your mind clean towards, tilting towards righteousness before God. And then the holiness is like complete. It's everything in totality. So if you're clean in totality in your heart, that means that even if somebody decides to kill you, there's a different way you are going to approach it than someone who doesn't have a clean heart.
Okay, Joyce, how can someone maintain a clean heart?
It's very easy. Just be positive.
It is?
Yes, it's easy for you to maintain
I
a
gotta
clean
push
heart.
the mic, man.
Please feel free. Feel free. I think it's easy for you to maintain.
School us, please. Off your mics. Let her talk till the end.
Just have a positive mindset. The Bible says, to him who is pure, all things are pure.
And that's an easy thing to do.
So I'm not talking about the act being easy. I'm talking about the like what angle you need to take.
Joyce, do we struggle to have a clean heart?
Yes.
So why is it easy? It's a battle. It's a war zone. See, you get that? It's a war zone. Because hardly would you walk down the street without hearing someone saying something stupid. And negative things have ways of sticking easier.
My point is not the action of being positive.
Oh, it's easy. Like explaining it is easy.
Okay, when you ask the question, how do you like, or what? Like, I mean, there are just two options. So you don't have to struggle with the options. So there are just two options if you want to have a clean heart. Is either you're positive or you are negative. So it's the options to pick from.
I was waiting for you.
No.
Because there is no man
It's
on
the
earth
options that I need.
whose heart is completely clean.
True.
Man, if your heart is completely clean, you are a second Jesus. If your heart is completely clean, you are a God. In fact, you are God. See, negative things can get your mind unclean. Even positive things. I like that smile. That smile says, Tony, can you explain? Of course, sure I can. Do you like a beautiful car made from like 2023? Would you want to own that?
Yes.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with wanting to have a clean car?
There's
Okay.
nothing wrong with that.
But what is wrong in going into prostitution to buy that car?
It's wrong.
You see my point exactly. So people don't just admire things because they want them. People admire things and seek ways that are impure to get these things. Sir, if your heart is clean, you can't think that way. Anybody who ever said, man, I thought of giving the person a slap, but then, that means at a point your heart was not clean. Sir, anytime your humanity shows up in a conversation, your heart was not clean at that point. Anytime your humanity shows up. That is why one time, on the 31st of a particular December, I promised, I said, I'm going to live my life with the finesses of God. And I started. It wasn't easy, but I achieved more that particular year until date. Right? Because negativity lives right within your house and outside your house. There is no positive thing going on on earth right now. Think about it. Except today's life and all whatnot. That apart, you don't have positive things. Go and watch the news. So go and watch the news. That's why only the Bible has good news. Only the Bible is good news. But go out there right now, sir. No television network is giving good news. No government is giving good news. These are all negativities. They make mind of a human being to think thoughts that are not right. Why do we have people in jail? Unclean hearts. Because the Bible says that whatever a man soweth in his heart, whatever a man thinketh in his heart. Yes, as a man thinketh in his heart. That means at particular points in your life, your heart was showing up in the matter. When people say, honestly, and they go, it was their heart that showed up and then something. Jesus' heart showed up one time. He took a cane and he ministered to people in the temple. See, sir, the Bible says, guard your heart diligently, because out of it comes the issues of life. How can somebody wake up and post a picture half naked of his or herself to the whole world to see? How do you classify such a heart where such came from? See, I saw a post. Well, there's not in this country. I saw a post. Someone posted. She had, all these bikini, these beach wears that it's almost like there's nothing on you. She posted that and said there's more where it came from. So people were eager. Some people were like, whoa, let's see. There were several comments. So we have girls today that how Joyce is dressed, they can't snap this way and post. What will they see? Sir, it has everything to do with your reasoning faculty. It has everything to do with your thoughts. Uncleanliness of the heart is more, in fact, that is where the uncleanliness of your house comes from. Because if your mind is clean, you don't have business having a healthy surrounding. You don't have business keeping a healthy. Some people, sir, when people give you lift in their car and they turn on the air condition, you wish that they would just turn it off so that you can wind down. How can a car be smelling like you took a poo in your car? Sir, I am telling you, the air completely in this country is extremely polluted. Go abroad. You'll wonder if it was not the same air that God sent from heaven for all of us. Cleanliness is next to nothing, sir. When you are talking about health, when you go to the hospital, what makes people sick? It's dirt explained different ways. I'm not a medical person, but it's dirt. They say bacteria. Where is it coming from? It's a dirt. Wait. If you look at it graphically, it's a dirt, sir. When they say infection, it's a dirt. It's something impure that landed on something that is pure and corrupted it. Someone said, I have stomach infection, I have eye infection, I have skin infection, I have sexual transmitted infection. They have all sorts. It was dirt. That is why everything on this earth has preventive measures. Except we don't try to heed. But sir, the cleanliness of the mind or of the heart, I think it's something we should devote a time and even look for a psychologist to come. Let's talk about it. Because some people don't understand what is happening to me. Sir, in one word, you are dirty. Okay, 3 words. You are dirty. Sir, this hair that women carry, that is the one that is not their own. Have you ever been close to it? Let me. So you see, sometimes when you sit in church next to some of them, you are like, when will service? Let me be very candid. I went to a church. I sat there. Some of our churches, during offering, you walk to the front, drop the offering, and come back. I look for a new seat. Because I was sandwiched in between. I was like Jesus and the 2 thieves. By my right, there was a terrible air. By my left, there was terrible air. So I had to sit. When they talk, I couldn't look left, I couldn't look right. So I had to keep my head. And once in a while, you just want to turn. And especially when they say, turn to your neighbor, and I'm not turning anything. My neighbor does not have any air that is. So I changed my seat. Why? Because I was so uncomfortable. But imagine, that's just church service. Imagine that you are on plane or you are in a vehicle that nobody can stop for you to change. You have to bear with that. And that can be like infectious. Oh my God.
Another conversation for
another
another
I'm telling you.
But honestly, you see, you speaking about cleanliness of the heart, a lot of issues and problems that humans are going through stems from the dirtiness of the heart. Because if you are not positive, then you're holding on to the negative. And negativity of the heart produces a lot of results. It's either you're dealing with depression because you chose to think and uphold the negative thought, or you're having some health challenges, heart issues, and all of that. So beyond the physical, what do you spend time thinking on? So these can resort to also some challenges or some issues. There are people that whatever things can happen, but you cannot think of positivity or, oh, probably this is the situation. It is always the negative. When you see a lady and a guy, it's just the negative thoughts that you give. No, they must have been coming from this place. When you see, like every situation that you just give it negative meaning. And that is why some people tell you, to the pure, all things are pure. It's scriptural. Mm-hmm. So you that you're always anchoring your thoughts on the negative, it means that your heart is full of unpure things or things that are not clean. And then it is out of the abundance of the heart. You are the totality of what you think. So there's no way I can see Sambo Solomon and just assume that he's a drunk if that is not my own lifestyle. Because I can't see you and just assume.
How do you even know them? You are not experienced. How do you know them? You know, but you see, come to think about it. People have their we can't finish this today, so we'll spill it over till tomorrow. We'll spill it over tomorrow, and then we'll look at how we can merge it with the topic for tomorrow. But let's just look at how a blind man is laughing at blind men. The Bible says if God decides to measure iniquity, that was a statement. But there was a question after the statement: who will stand? If people realize that there are scriptures like that in the Bible, I think they will criticize less, they will judge less, they will think positive of people more, all that. Because if the Bible is saying, for all have sinned, like I remember I was privileged to speak in one church one time, and then I titled the message Something in Common. We all have something in common. We all have something in common. We are not sinners. The Bible didn't say for all are sinners. It said for all have sinned and fall short of the good. You are short too, man. No matter how tall you are short. Because at one point in your life, you did this and that and those and these that were not in accordance to the will of God. You still do them. But now you have left the level of sinning to the level of making mistakes. Because you know the truth. Man, a mistake is when you know that this is wrong and then you do it. It's a mistake. So when you come to that level, people don't even know what you struggle with in this life. They don't know, sir. But all they can see and say is criticism.
And they judge you
and then they judge you based on what they are strong in. That's why a thief is calling her a liar. He's calling you a cheat, but he's also a thief. So yeah, you want?
I just wanted to say, adding to what she said, you know how she said what is from what is inside that comes out. But majorly what I want to say is that you keep feeding yourself those things. I can't say that you would watch a movie these days and have a clean heart easily, because a lot of the things that we're seeing in our movie industries are really contaminated. You can't walk on the streets and not see some sights that are not really pleasing, and because our streets too are contaminated. But the problem now is that a lot of times we dwell on these things. You already know that if you start watching this form of movie, this is what it is selling to you, and you decide to watch it so that you would get you buy the thing that they're selling, because that's what we do a lot of times. So you keep feeding yourself. You're like, oh no, I'm strong enough. This thing, I'm just watching it to pass time. It's not going to do nothing to me. Dear brother and sister, beloved of God, you're deceiving yourself. It is deceit. Please.
They should cut this part of the video and share it, so that people can really take that. You see, there's something that This is not to sound political, but there's something that the governor of Plateau State is doing right now, Governor Mutfwang. He put a committee, a task force on neatness. And every day you see them working from morning. I think the other day they were working till like 7:30 in the night. They were packing dirt. In fact, they don't have a refuse dump. They are using someone's refuse dump, but he instructed that they should pack before government provides something like that. Jos used to be known for its neatness, but not anymore. In fact, they said one place they went to that they had not packed dirt for 7 years. So imagine people living with such. You imagine people living with such. So I think even if government is making efforts like that, how much more personally as an individual? Personally. And I think we shouldn't leave everything to government. See, if the governor of this state falls sick because of some debt, they will fly him abroad to go and treat him. What about you and I? So let's, even in the community where we live, let's not just talk about vigilante, how we can block thieves from entering, no, there is something that is doing more harm to us than a thief that comes once or twice in a year. Let's start thinking in our neighborhood, how do we pack dirt? Can we organize, can we have one place where we will dump refuse? Where we can have everything kept and burnt at the end, or whatever we do with it. So I think that is kudos. It's a big kudos to what the governor is doing. So it's something that we also have to, imbibe individually to see that, man, in my house, there are no dirt. It's not an easy task. No, it's not. It's not an easy. It's something that everyone should do. Is a concerted effort you should put individually to make sure. So we are not rounding off the show. Tomorrow, we are coming back on this cleanliness of the mind. We are coming back, and believe me, tomorrow will be a banger. I don't know if that's a good English, but it sounds so right for what is happening right now.
Yes.
So, do you want to say something in closing?
Yeah, when you said banger, I said, because if everything that you think it's you, let me put it that way, then I think that is when we will see you in real sense. That is, if you are clean in heart, then it shows from the outside. If you are not clean in heart, it will show from outside. But some people don't know. They don't know, and I feel, like you said, tomorrow, it is very important for people to join us tomorrow, because that is where we're going to look at some areas that people do neglect. They don't care about. They take it for granted, and then it's eating us up, and it's affecting the communities, affecting families. It is very important. Let them join us tomorrow as we continue
So
this topic.
we'll plead with Victor to also get clips.
Yes.
Of places and all of that.
That would be interesting. Yeah.
Cleanliness.
I thought I said we'll continue.
Yes, cleanliness is next
You
to godliness.
You insist on making your point.
And I think it's one of the characteristics
Wow.
that we've seen in God, in the creation story, is orderliness. And because of that, I feel it to be dated, but then
You have to make this point.
cleanliness is next to godliness. You can't claim you know God, you love God, and be dirty or unkept. So it should be a character. It should be something you imbibe. You shouldn't joke with cleanliness.
Prudence, do you have something to say? Or you are saving it for tomorrow?
We'll continue tomorrow.
We are so glad you watched this show. I don't want to wrap up this show, but I'll just say be kind to one another, like I would always say. Thank you very much, Equa Executive, for giving us this opportunity to do this. Thank you, every Equa television supporter, cast and crew. Everybody, we're grateful. So we'll see you tomorrow at 11. We'll continue the topic. So do well to join. If you have terrible stuff, kept dirt in your area, snap it and send it on our WhatsApp, on our WhatsApp picture with your name or the name of the area. Don't just the name of your area. The number is right there on the screen. We'll show you tomorrow on the show. God bless you. Stay out of trouble. Bye.